Tonight, as the world outside settles into stillness, that's when our minds often rebel. The chatter, the endless loops of what ifs and why didn't I? These are the echoes that trap us in our own heads. You know the feeling. We've all been there, lying in bed, staring into the darkness, letting thoughts steal away our peace. Overthinking is a thief, one that robs us of both sleep and sanity. But you don't have to be its prisoner. You have the power to rise above it, to quiet the noise, and to bring order to the chaos in your mind. In our modern world, mastering this skill is more than just a mental exercise. It's a survival tool. An organized mind isn't merely a luxury. It's vital if you want to thrive. Let's dive deep, step by step, into the lessons that will guide you in this journey to conquer your thoughts, silence your doubts, and take control of your mind. Lesson 1. Action over analysis. It starts with the understanding that action, not endless pondering, is what moves us forward. Every time you sit there, mind racing with questions and potential outcomes, you slip further into stagnation. Overthinking is a trap, a way for your mind to keep you comfortably immobilized while convincing you that you're preparing. But ask yourself, how often does that mental preparation lead to real change? More likely, it leaves you stuck, weighed down by the possibilities you've created in your head. The ancient Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius, the warrior philosopher, didn't believe in thinking endlessly about every scenario. He believed in calculated action, in moving forward even when certainty was impossible. When you act, even in small ways, you create momentum, a ripple effect that breaks the chains of procrastination. Every choice you make, every step you take, teaches you something. It liberates you from the paralysis of what if. Consider this. The next time you find yourself spiraling into overthinking, take a single, tangible step forward. No matter how small, let it be a first step towards something real. Maybe it's making that phone call you've been putting off, jotting down your idea, or organizing your workspace. You'll find that action is powerful. It not only dissolves doubt, it feeds confidence. Each step you take tells your mind, I can do this. And soon, those seemingly insurmountable goals begin to look achievable. Lesson 2. You're not that special, and that's a good thing. One of the heaviest burdens that feeds overthinking is the belief that every choice, every action, is under intense scrutiny from the world around us. We hesitate to post online, afraid of how it'll be perceived. We hold back on chasing our goals, thinking that everyone is watching, waiting for us to fail. This is a trap, and it's one that the Stoics were keenly aware of. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself, "You could leave life right now." Let that determine what you do and say and think. This isn't about being morbid. It's about putting things into perspective. The truth is, most people are too busy with their own lives to care about every little move we make. Realizing this can be freeing. When you grasp that the world isn't hanging on your every word or action, you can let go of the fear of judgment. You're free to try, to fail, to experiment. This doesn't mean you don't matter. It means you can breathe easier, knowing that your perceived missteps won't be the end of the world. Take this lesson to heart. Most people's attention is fleeting. They won't remember your mistakes the way you think they will. So, stop holding back. Stop letting imaginary critics dictate your life. You're free to be bold, to make mistakes, to live fully without constantly worrying about how it looks to everyone else. Lesson 3. Comparison is the thief of joy. How often have you been content with your life, only to see someone else's success and suddenly feel your own accomplishments shrink in comparison? In the age of social media, It's all too easy to measure our worth against others, to let the curated highlight reels of others diminish our own lives. But the Stoics had a profound insight. Your worth is yours alone, not defined by others. Epictetus taught us to focus on what we can control, and the lives of others are certainly outside that sphere. By investing your energy into comparing yourself, you're wasting time and focus on something you can never control. Instead, look inward. Anchor your sense of accomplishment to your own journey, not to someone else's milestones. This shift in perspective can be transformative. It pulls you out of the competition mindset and lets you focus on personal growth. The next time you feel yourself slipping into the comparison trap, pause. Reflect on your progress, your achievements, no matter how small. Each one is a victory unique to you, a testament to your journey. When you stop comparing, you start appreciating, and that's when you reclaim your joy. Lesson 4. Perfection is a myth. Embrace imperfection. Perfection is a mirage. It's the idea that if we just try a little harder, plan a little longer, we can achieve flawlessness. But the truth is, perfection is not only impossible, it's paralyzing. By setting ourselves up to never make mistakes, we doom ourselves to inaction. The Stoics saw this clearly. They taught that imperfection is not a flaw, it's an integral part of growth. Seneca famously said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." We create scenarios of perfect success in our minds, and then we suffer when reality doesn't measure up. But what if you saw each mistake as a lesson? What if, instead of striving for flawless, you aimed for progress? Imagine the freedom that comes with embracing imperfection, with allowing yourself to make mistakes, learn, and move forward. The next time you're tempted to hold back out of fear of not getting it just right, remember this. Every flaw, every imperfection is an opportunity for growth. The road to success isn't flawless. It's filled with stumbling blocks that teach us how to walk. Embrace imperfection, for it's there that real progress is born. Lesson 5. Your emotions are not your reality. Emotions are powerful, sometimes overwhelmingly so. They color our reality, often leading us to believe that what we feel is the truth. But emotions are fleeting, and the Stoics taught us that they do not define our reality. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself often that he held power over his mind, not external events. This is your power too. The next time you feel anxiety, fear, or anger rising, take a moment to detach. Ask yourself, is this emotion based on fact or interpretation? Often, by simply pausing to question our emotions, we regain clarity. This isn't about ignoring your feelings. It's about not letting them control you. Emotional mastery is the art of seeing your feelings without letting them dictate your reality. Think about the last time you were overwhelmed by a single moment of frustration. At that moment, it felt like your whole world was falling apart. But hours or days later, you realized it wasn't as significant as it seemed. With practice, you can train yourself to detach, to see your emotions as passing clouds, rather than the sky itself. Lesson 6. Detach from outcomes. One of the biggest sources of overthinking is our fixation on results. We want to control every outcome, to guarantee that things go our way. But life doesn't work like that. The Stoics were adamant about focusing on what you can control, your actions, not the outcome, which is often outside your grasp. Imagine the peace of mind that comes with detaching from outcomes. You give your best effort, not because you're trying to manipulate results, but because that's who you are. This shift in focus from outcome to process not only reduces anxiety, but also enhances your performance. When you're not obsessed with results, you're free to fully engage with the task at hand. The next time you take on a project or set a goal, Remind yourself that you can only control the effort you put in, not the end result. By letting go of outcomes, you allow yourself to be fully present, to learn and grow through the process. Ironically, this often leads to better results because you're not weighed down by anxiety. Lesson 7. The present moment is all you have. Finally, the greatest gift you can give yourself is presence. The past is gone, unchangeable. The future is uncertain, unknowable. The only real power you hold is in the now, in this very moment. Marcus Aurelius urged himself to confine himself to the present. This isn't about ignoring the past or failing to plan. It's about not letting those things rob you of the only reality you possess, the present. Each time you catch yourself worrying about tomorrow or replaying yesterday's mistakes, bring yourself back to the now. Focus on what's in front of you, on what you can do in this moment. Engage fully with the people, tasks, and experiences around you. Living in the present diminishes overthinking because it grounds you in reality, in what's within your control. Every moment you spend focused on the present is a victory over the endless spiral of what ifs and why didn't I. It's a reclamation of your life, a commitment to live fully rather than simply exist. Embrace each present moment for the gift it is,